Misbah Qadri, who's on my right, is a young media professional. She was denied a flat. Zeeshan Khan, who's on my left, is a young MBA. He was denied a job. Both because they were Muslim. Dr. Tasleem Ahmed Rehmani, President of the Muslim Political Council of India, joining us as well. Kamal Faruqui, political analyst. Ejaz Maqbool, senior advocate of the Supreme Court. And to talk about, and I hope tonight at least, Pandit Ajay Gautam will not try to dismiss this issue. Spokesperson of the Shankaracharya of the Dwarkadhish Peeth, Ashish Shelar, President of the Mumbai BJP, and Manisha Kayande, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena. Let's accept the reality. This is the reality today, isn't it? The reality is that this is not an isolated case. But first, I'd like to ask you, Misbah Qadri, first of all, congratulations on going out there and speaking up.
Thank you.
What I find very surprising in your case is that you had already got a flat. You had found the flat, you already paid the money to the broker.
Right.
And at the last minute, the broker calls you and says you can't live in this flat.
Yes.
What exactly happened there?
So on the 6th of April, I was supposed to move into this flat in Sangvi Heights.
Right.
On the 5th of April, I receive a call from the broker saying that you don't move into the flat in Sangvi Heights because Sangvi builders don't allow Muslim tenants to move.
The builders don't?
The builders don't. And I thought that he's just doing this last minute tactic to make some extra money. That was the impression that I had.
Okay.
Because this was not the first time that I was coming across something. I'm very used to it in the last 5 years. I moved into the flat on the 6th of April after a lot of support and assurance from my roommates too, and I really couldn't believe that in a high-rise building in 2015 again he was going to make an issue of something so trivial and so outrageous, because I was ready to go through police verification process. I was giving in my PAN card copies, my passport copies, I was going through submitting my offer letters, everything. So I just didn't think he would make an issue of this. I moved in on 6th of April. 2 days later, I get a call from the broker saying that I hope you have not moved into the flat, and if you have, better vacate the place immediately, because otherwise I'm throwing your stuff out and I'm calling the cops on you.
Because you're a Muslim?
Because you're a Muslim. Right. And I mean, I thought it was completely outrageous, and I thought, you know, with time he would obviously give in. I mean, this was no issue, and I knew that he couldn't send a legal notice or file a police complaint because there was nothing legal about this. So I went on, I continued staying, but he went on harassing my roommates. He called them up and said, "Tumhe nahi pata tumhara kya hal karunga, tumhe phar phek dunga, how dare you take up a Muslim tenant," etc. And eventually, so meanwhile I contacted this Sangvi builders. I got their phone line number. I called them up, but nobody, I mean, I was not getting through. So I got to know that there's a Muslim family staying in the same building through the bais and the security guards, because I had no point of contact in the building. Wadala was a new area for me, and completely everything was new. So they told me that there's a Muslim family staying in the same building, and the Sangvi builders have an office in the same building too. I reached out to the Sangvi builders office, where there was a representative from Sangvi builders sitting there. He told me that, I asked him that, देखिए भैया ऐसे प्रॉब्लम है, मुझे यहाँ पर ब्रोकर बोल रहे हैं कि मैं इस बिल्डिंग में नहीं रह सकती हूँ क्योंकि मैं मुस्लिम हूँ, क्या आपको बिल्डर्स को प्रॉब्लम है, सांगवी बिल्डर्स को प्रॉब्लम है, और अगर नहीं है तो क्या आप मुझे दूसरा फ्लैट दे सकते हैं इस बिल्डिंग में, अगर ओनर को सिर्फ प्रॉब्लम है इस फ्लैट के. तो he was not at all hesitant, he was very straightforward. He told me that नहीं, सांगवी बिल्डर्स नहीं रखते हैं मुस्लिम्स को, हम लोग का अभी रूल है. देखिए,
why did you speak out, Misbah? What you said you've been through these experiences before. Why did you snap this time?
This time more so because the broker was, you know, he was absolutely fearless in humiliating me. He was continuously after me when I said I want an agreement. I was after him. I was continuously calling him and messaging him, I want the agreement. To which he was like, you signed that NOC to get out of the flat. So he was talking to me like he was speaking to, you know.
Misbah, if I can just hold you out here, I want to ask the Shiv Sena representative, what action have you taken against this housing society?
Well, the issue has just come up.
No, will you take the members of this housing society to jail on this issue? Will you act against them?
Well, we'll first find out. We'll talk to
What's
the
there
builder,
to find out? You don't believe her?
No, we have to hear both the sides.
What do you mean hear both the sides? Here's what she's. Do you doubt what she's saying?
No, I don't doubt.
She's been denied a home because she's a Muslim.
I just met her on the show today in front of you, so I don't know what's the real issue.
The real issue. Are you in any doubts about the real issue? The real issue is that if you're a Muslim, you don't get a home to live in. That's the real issue.
So many Muslims are living in the city, And,
that's no answer.
Well, they are living, they are carrying out their business. We have to really know. I'm fully sympathetic towards her.
So nobody needs. You need her sympathy. You need her sympathy. One second. Just 1 minute. 1 minute.
She can walk into the Shiv Sena Shakha anytime.
I don't think anybody who needs.
Definitely help her. Why not?
No, I don't think. I don't think a Muslim who wants to live.
Definitely, we would like to help.
So I don't think a Muslim who needs to find a house for themselves needs to walk into the Shiv Sena Shakha.
Why not? We can definitely find a house for her.
No, you don't have to find a house for her. The fact is, will you bring in a law that ensures that all those who carry out this kind of housing discrimination are called criminals and taken into jail?
I think this has happened to scores, even with Maharashtrians.
Yeah, one second.
It has happened with so many people.
So why are you underplaying this?
No, I'm not underplaying it.
Of course you are underplaying it.
No, not at all.
Why don't...
And of course it's need to be discussed. We have a housing forum.
No, why don't you speak out against discrimination? Why don't you speak out against discrimination on people like Misbah and Zeeshan in the same breath as you speak up for the rights of Marathis?
Well,
why do you discriminate?
Shiv Sena is a party which was born for the rights of Marathi, and definitely...
What about the rights of Muslims?
No, definitely we'll fight for them also, and we Muslims are we are not anti-Muslims at all.
If a Maharashtrian had been denied a house in this city because they were Maharashtrian, would you not have done something quicker than what you've done doing in this case? Would you be talking in the way that you do?
This has happened today, and she's come on the channel. Definitely, we are all out to help her.
So I don't think
it's not an issue.
There's Zeeshan.
It's not an issue.
Of course, it's an issue. This is a very big issue.
She's a citizen of this country, and definitely she has a right to live anywhere she.
Well, I think you're not answering my question. Also, next to you is Zeshan Ali, and Zeshan Ali Khan has an email which I would like to put out with your permission, Zeshan. He gets an email a few days back in which he's told very directly that I'm sorry, we can't give you a job because you're a Muslim, right? And this email is pretty categorical, Zeshan. Thanks for your application. We regret to inform you we hire only non-Muslim candidates. What action will you take against this company?
Well, I have some companies.
No, why you want to read this email?
And they say that only Muslims required. There are many such instances.
You read this email.
Okay.
Why are you in denial about this?
No, we are not
if somebody had written an email saying, we regret to inform you that we don't hire Maharashtrians, what would you have done?
See, we have already opposed this. The Shiv Sena doesn't support any such
But it's happening in your city under your watch. Zeshan, what made you speak up? Tell us about your experience. Why did you confront them?
Well, on 19th of May, I applied in this company that I'm looking for a job. Please find a resume. I have just completed my MBA. And please let me know. Feel free to reach me. I get a reply from these guys within 15 minutes that we're very thank you for your application. We're really sorry that we hire only non-Muslim candidates. I was shocked. I was disgusted. I said such kind of incidents do happen in metropolitan city like Mumbai. Yeah. I immediately took a screenshot of it and I posted it across the social networking sites, across WhatsApp. Yeah. And I started receiving emails from every corner of the country asking me to take a legal action against this export house. Yeah. So what I do is I approach the local police station with the help of a local politician. Yeah. And I file a complaint against the company. And here I am.
Here you are. Ashish Shelar, why are you allowing this kind of apartheid in Mumbai? What's going on here? This is apartheid, isn't it? Pandit Ajay Gautam, listen to the stories. Don't be in denial. Listen to these young people tonight. If someone were to write a letter to you saying, Pandit Ajay Gautam, I'm sorry you can't get a house because you're a Hindu. Or if somebody were to say, Pandit Ajay Gautam, you can't carry out your legal practice unless you are
It's happened when you apply.
I don't want to get the usual
argument. It's happened when you are searching for an office in the Jamia, then nobody can give you on the rent. So what is your point for a Hamdard? You heard about the Hamdard is a renowned company. If you apply for a job, they denied. They said this is only for Muslim. Why on that time? Why you are not raising that issue when Hamdard denied to appoint a Hindu? How many Hindu are working in the Hamdard company? Tell me. When this is happened with the Muslims, then you are raising that issue. But when we are facing this kind of problem in the connection of Muslim, in respect of Muslims, then nobody can raise the issue.
Now have you finished? Have you finished now? Pandit Ajay Gautam. Pandit Ajay Gautam, the fact is that this is not an isolated case.
Sir, every society has its aim and object with whom the society they registered. If the society registered especially for Hindu families, then there is no law who force them to keep a tenant on a Muslim.
So there is no law which under under which you can deny housing. And I think with your, if you care to listen out here, I think what Misbah has been through is what I call apartheid. When you're denied a job because you're a Muslim, when you're denied a house because you're a Muslim, this is no different from Mahatma Gandhi being thrown out of a moving train in South Africa because he was dark-skinned. This is no different from what used to happen in the United States of America in the 40s and 50s when being separate but equal under the segregation laws was considered acceptable. This is segregation. And I have a problem. This is segregation. If you want, and Misbah, feel free to respond, please. I am asking, I'll come to you. I'll come to you when I wish to, sir. I'll come to you when I wish to. My problem tonight is with the idea of segregation. And across this country, if there are people who are uncomfortable with the idea of segregation, let them feel uncomfortable. But I think the time has come for these people to feel uncomfortable. I will not take your antediluvian arguments as justification for this. Kamal Faruqui and Tasleem Ahmed Rehmani, let's speak the truth tonight. If there's segregation, there is segregation. You can't justify one form of segregation with another. Kamal Faruqui, please, what do you think about this? And after that, Ashish Shelar. Yeah, Kamal Faruqui.
Arnab, absolutely you're right. Absolutely, you're right. Anybody who is doing it, whether it is a Hindu or a Muslim or any other community, if they are making any discrimination on the basis of the caste, religion or color, it's absolutely illegal, and let Dr. Gautam Sahab also knows it. This is against the constitution. This is punishable. Number one. Number two, they are getting the land from the government, and the government under no circumstances put up these kind of conditions. These Sanghvis should be arrested immediately because they got the land from the Maharashtra definitely Development Authority, and under no circumstances they could ignore anybody, whether it is Maharashtrian or a Marathi or a Hindu or a Muslim. If they are doing it, it's against the constitution. They don't have any place in this country. They should be thrown out.
My biggest problem.
What does Mr. Kamal Faruqui want? What does Mr. Kamal Faruqui want? A Hindu family, a Brahman or Jain family, it forced to be smell about the mutton and chicken. And he should be flushed out.
Oh my God!
What a funny thing! What a funny thing! What a funny thing!
On Eid, when you perform your ritual, on Eid when you perform your ritual, then when you give the bali of someone, when you give the bali on someone on Eid ul-Jibha, then all society will
Kamal Faruqui
to see the
Pandit Ajay Gautam, Misbah wants to say something to you.
No,
1 minute.
Look at that.
Okay, Kamal Faruqui, speak up. After that, Misbah wants to say something.
Okay, Arnab, look at that. Look at that. He does not know that Arnab Goswami, if he goes into the same thing and if he eats mutton, he will also be thrown out by this logic. What a kind of stupid argument it is.
This is not the
stupid absolutely stupid.
Right to live a clean. Go live
somewhere else. This country does not belong to you. This country is not meant for you. Go anywhere else.
Object of my society.
This country does not belong to you, Dr. Gautam. This is my country.
Who is a
this is my country. You
who is a non-vegetarian? I don't allow in my society.
Pandit Ajay Gautam, be a little real tonight. Listen to me. If you want to get personal, then people will get personal with you. If you want to be selfish and narrow-minded about others, then people will be selfish and narrow-minded about you. If there are some things about others culturally, that you don't agree with, remember, Pandit Ajay Gautam, Hindus may be in a majority, but there are a lot of things culturally about you personally that Kamal Faruqui may disagree with. But that does not give you a right to segregate. My issue tonight, my basic problem is with the issue of segregation. What you're telling this young lady who's sitting in the program tonight, what you're telling her is that she can only live in certain areas of Mumbai where the Muslims will be allowed. If 90% of Mumbai Muslims are not allowed, that's not something that Misbah should be complaining about. If there are many companies where Zeeshan cannot find a job, Zeeshan should swallow that. Then in that case, let us tell them that this is not a free country. Misbah wants to say something to you. Pandit Ajay Gautam, Misbah will speak, और आप सुनेंगे Misbah जो कह रहे हैं आपको. Misbah, go ahead. You wanted to say something to him.
What you just said, I mean, it goes in the same sense as somebody recently made a remark that अगर आप beef खाते हो तो पाकिस्तान चले जाओ. मेरा नाम पाकिस्तानी एक क्रिकेट प्लेयर की जैसा ही है, मिसबा उल हक. तो मुझे काफी लोग मजाक में बोलते हैं, अभी मेरा कॉमन जोक हो गया है दोस्तों के बीच में कि मिसबा तू पाकिस्तानी चली जा, कि यहाँ पर तेरा कुछ नहीं होने वाला. काफी ब्रोकर्स मुझे बोलते हैं कि आपको देख के लगता ही नहीं कि आप मुस्लिम हो. तो काश नाम अगर ऐसा नहीं होता ना तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं होती इतना। आपका नाम में कादरी में समझ आ जाता है कि आप मुस्लिम हो। तो अगर मेरा रिलीजियस मैं इमेजिन नहीं कर सकती कि अगर कोई मुस्लिम लड़का दाढ़ी और टोपी पहनकर जाए जिसका कोई वो ओसामा बिन लादेन का भांजा नहीं लगता है, लेकिन अगर उसे वही पहनावे में अगर एक फ्लैट चाहिए डिसेंट सोसाइटी में, संघवी सोसाइटी में, आई कांट इमेजिन उसके साथ क्या हो। मेरे टैटूज और पियर्सिंग्स के साथ मुझे नहीं मिलता फ्लैट क्योंकि मेरा नाम मुस्लिम है। तो आई कांट इमेजिन कोई अपनी मुस्लिम आइडेंटिटी के साथ क्यों नहीं रह सकता यहाँ पर। वो गोश्त खाए जब तक आपको मुंह में नहीं डाल रहा है गोश्त, आपके घर में आकर काट नहीं रहा है, अगर आपको तकलीफ नहीं पहुंचा रहा है तो आपको क्यों तकलीफ हो रही है?
Make the ghost in your kitchen, the smell is spread in whole society.
Oh, please.
So what?
In that condition, what?
So what?
In that condition, what?
So what?
After
go and live in some mandir.
After eating,
Go and live in some mandir.
you thrown it out. The parcels of the meats throughout in
Go
the
and live
society.
in somewhere
Then
else.
Sir, I think
don't have the place
we
in
have our own
Bollywood.
culture, and we have the
Pandit-
right to
Not really
protect
living
our
on
own
ground.
culture. Nobody can. If you are you
Pandit
say,
Ajay
you are going to
Gautam,
file
Pandit
a
Ajay
police
Gautam,
complaint against
Pandit
them. We are
Ajay
here to
Gautam,
defend them.
Pandit Ajay Gautam, don't force your culture on others. Okay? There are many mutton eating in Hindus in this country, and that's
Sir,
not
you
even
heard
the issue.
about PETA?
The issue is of
You heard about
segregation.
PETA,
The fact,
organization
sir, one
for
second.
vegetarian?
Pandit
You heard
Ajay
about
Gautam,
PETA?
Pandit Ajay Gautam, please 1 minute, please. Understand this is a pan-Indian problem. It happens everywhere from Gurgaon to Delhi to Mumbai to Chennai, and it's time we talk about it, right? So Tasleem Ahmed Rehmani wants to come into the debate, and in a while I'll also go to Ejaz Maqbool, please. Pandit Ajay Gautam, you wanted to just be quiet for a while. I think I wanted to go across to Tasleem Ahmed Rehmani. Dr. Rehmani.
See, you have very rightly said, Arnab, that this is a pan-Indian problem, and we cannot shut our eyes on the reality of the day. That there is segregation in this society. In Delhi, in Mumbai, in Gujarat, in Gurgaon, there are so many places where the high elite class society, posh colonies do not give houses to the Muslims. There are so many instances, you know it very well. And this has become an order of the day, and this has not been done today. I am in 1995. I don't want to make beef at my house. I'm a member of a cooperative group housing society in Delhi, and I have a flat at top floor. I wanted a flat in the ground floor just to serve the society as a doctor, and I have been denied by saying the same thing, that we do not rent out our flats to a Muslim. I don't want to cook the beef over there. I want to serve the society, but still in 1995 I have been denied the flat just for my religious identity. This is one thing. Number, our Panditji is saying that in Jamia Hamdard and Jamia Millia, half of the faculties in Jamia Millia is our non-Muslim brothers, Hindu brothers. In Jamia Hamdard, the head of the pharmacology, Dr. R.B. Arora, he was there. It's not that in the Muslim institutions you cannot blame just for tit for tat. This is not like that. This is a segregated society. Our political people have made a mindset like that the society should be divided on the communal line, and it has become a reality, a sad reality nowadays. We want to live as an Indian. India is our first priority. We want to live as an equal citizen. If you don't want to smell the beef, you don't smell. You don't eat. Nobody is forcing you, but you cannot deny that just because of your religion, you cannot go to this institution, you cannot live to this place, and
In fact, Ajay Gautam, Ajay Gautam, if I may come in, what Ajay Gautam should realize, Tasleem Ahmed Rehmani, what Ajay Gautam should realize, what Pandit Ajay Gautam you need to realize tonight, with respect to you, sir, is that people like you are in a real minority. You are out of touch with people in this country. Today you say people who have beef should not be allowed. Tomorrow people who have mutton should not be allowed. Tomorrow you'll say people who have cauliflowers should not be allowed. You know, there is no end to your narrow-mindedness, Pandit Ajay Gautam, and at one point you'll have to stop. But my question is to the BJP. But my question is to the BJP tonight. 1 second. My question is to the BJP tonight. And my question to the BJP is, Ashish Shelar, let us not forget that when a resolution was brought in the Bombay Municipal Corporation to ensure discrimination of this nature on the basis of religion on someone's dietary habits does not continue, you had opposed this resolution. right? Which means the BJP wants bias and the BJP supports discrimination on the basis of a person's religion. Please tell me, Dr. Ashish Shelar, today you are in this program, tonight there's a young lady before you. I hold you responsible for her plight. Because you opposed a resolution against discrimination on the basis of religion. Why do you talk one language in Delhi and do one thing in Mumbai? In Delhi you say, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Isn't that the BJP slogan? Now tell Misbah tonight that it's Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Or tell Zeeshan.
May I respond?
Yeah, please do, sir.
First of all, let me make it very clear that BJP's stand is that there should not be segregation and discrimination. Forget BJP's stand.
Sir, I don't believe in your stand, I believe in your actions.
Of course, let me complete my submission.
Yeah, please.
And therefore, the two things is very clear. It is unfortunate that today we are seeing that the discussion is going between Hindu and Muslims.
Sir, there was a, tell me one thing, sir, very clearly. In November 2014, the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation passed a resolution championing the cause of flat buyers and tenants who face rejection because they are non-vegetarians. Right? Is it true or not? And is it true that the BJP did not back the resolution, saying it was a political move by the ally, and that in other words you supported discrimination on the basis of what people eat? Is it true or not? And let the people in this country know this tonight, Ashish Shelar. Because in Mumbai, the same party which won an election saying Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, the Bharatiya Janata Party was supporting discrimination on the basis of what people eat. People don't know that this happened. People outside Mumbai don't know about this, Ashish Shelar. Tell people tonight that yes, we wanted to discriminate between people on the basis of what they eat.
We don't support the discrimination, number one.
Sir, did you or did you not? Please, sir, did you or did you not on the one hand speak out against discrimination? On the other hand, you oppose a resolution that seeks to end it.
No.
You opposed a resolution that seeks to end it.
No.
Sir, the facts are here, sir. You want to utter lies on television tonight?
Please do not use this word.
I am going to speak it. I'm going to say it once again, sir. This is exactly what you did. You opposed a resolution which had been backed by the Shiv Sena and the MNS. You wanted discrimination on the basis of what people eat, Ashish Shelar. Why did you do that?
Can I reply to this?
Yes, I know that, because before the elections you put out big posters all across Mumbai talking about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Nation First.
Of course.
Ashish Shelar, is it Nation First to discriminate against people on the basis of what they eat?
Arnab, allow me to speak. What you are quoting here, what has happened into the corporation house, is a different story altogether.
So it's not a different story. You allow discrimination.
I hope you know about the corporation.
But you allow discrimination.
No,
how do you allow discrimination on the basis of what people eat? And Ashish Shelar, if you allow that,
my party both doesn't do it.
Then why did you oppose the resolution?
This resolution you are referring to is a different story than what we are
It is not a different story. It was about people who face rejection because they are non-vegetarians. The resolution sought to deny key clearances to builders and housing societies that discriminate against buyers on the basis of caste, religion or food habits.
These were the three. Toto.
So how can you deny it in toto,
because sir? You are not allowing me to submit.
Mr. Ashish Shelar, these are the facts of the matter, and because I am putting it on national television, you are embarrassed about it.
You and your channel both.
No, Mr. Ashish Shelar, you need to tell me tonight why you did not support a resolution that wanted to end the discrimination on the basis of what people eat, what caste they are from, and what religion they are.
I am replying again.
You are not being able to reply, so I've asked you the question 7 times.
You are not allowing me. Where is question of able or not able? You are not allowing.
7 times I've asked you the question.
So allow me to complete.
So why do you cheat the people of this country by talking about Nation First in May 2014 and in November putting in November you put caste first, you put religion first, and you put food first?
May I reply?
Sir, you don't have to take my permission for it. The question is for replying.
Because you are editor, I have to take your permission.
No, sir, you don't. I'm asking, sir, why don't you bring in a legislation that outlaws practices of this nature?
Yes, now you came to the point. What I'm trying to say is that whether religion is an issue or not, the issue is that whether certain act is constitutional or unconstitutional. Here in this case, today Indian Penal Code gives a justification and all the provisions to anybody and everybody who has been faced with the segregation to have their right enacted and go to the police station and register the crime. That is the situation.
I'm sorry, you forget the fact. I'm appalled at what you are saying tonight. And I think it is very important for people to remember this, and I will repeat it again, Ashish Shelar. Go back and check your facts. A resolution is brought in to ensure that people like Zeeshan, people like Misbah, they do not face discrimination on the basis of religion or on the basis of what they eat. You on that side are with people like Ajay Gautam on the ground. You want the discrimination to continue because it supports your vote banks.
I can argue it otherwise. There are so many Catholic colonies who doesn't sell their properties to Hindus.
Precisely. So you are speaking the same language that Pandit Ajay Gautam
but that is also not justifiable. Again,
did we say they were right? Did we say they were right?
No, because you are putting the words in my mouth.
I'm not putting the words in your mouth. I have two parties in the studio tonight, the BJP and the Shiv Sena, which are looking cornered on this issue. There are two young people. There are two.
What has happened to her and what has happened to Zeeshan? BJP is not supporting it. And we categorically say that if there is a crime, it has to be treated as a crime itself.
Sir, nothing prevents you from bringing in a legislation.
Of course not.
Nothing, no, nothing prevents.
Will you arrest
no, Kamal Faruqui.
Under which section?
Will you arrest Sanvis?
Under which section you raise this is a crime? This is our choice. This is our choice. We will allow the person who belongs to other religion or other community or other culture. This is my crime. This is the constitution granted to us. Every society, every club, every party has the aim and object.
I am asking Shiv Sena and BJP.
They are very clear about their aim and object, which is called as a bylaw.
Any object which is against the bylaws, any object which is against the constitution is void ab initio.
They don't allow.
Any object which is against the constitution is void ab initio.
And made for the Hindu pilgrims.
Sir, don't.
How can a Muslim claim that he will be treated as?
Viewers, please note this. I ask everyone tonight. Pandit Ajay Gautam, what you are doing is supporting apartheid in India. And I don't think you're being a good Hindu by doing that. Okay, I now want to go to Ejaz Maqbool. I don't think you are being a good Hindu by supporting apartheid in India today. This is not, neither do I need certificates from you, and neither do I think that you are the custodian of everything that is Hindu. You have no right to say that you represent all Hindus. I can say confidently tonight that many good Hindus, most good Hindus, and if I may say all good Hindus will hang their heads in shame at the fact that today somebody does not get a house because they're a Muslim. Somebody does not get a job because they're a Muslim. Tomorrow you'll tell somebody you cannot go to this restaurant because you're a Muslim. You'll tell somebody you cannot enter a house because you're a Muslim. You cannot be somebody's guest. You cannot eat somewhere. Your child cannot go to a particular school because they are a Muslim. And I don't think, Mr. Pandit Ajay Gautam, that is a narrow-minded perspective of Hinduism. You should go back and read what Hinduism is about.
It's your opinion. And maybe you agree or disagree with me. That is not reflect on me. But what is the reflect on the
Pandit Ajay Gautam?
I am just saying the truth. I am not making the blah blah blah. I am just telling the truth.
Okay. Anyway, I now want to. What's it? Please, Misbah wants to come in once again. Misbah.
I would like to emphasize here that while I've been going through all of this, both my roommates who have immensely supported me and assured me throughout the entire episode, and all my friends are all primarily Hindus, and they have gone out of their way to guide me. They are the ones who guided me that what step I should be taking. Honestly speaking, I hardly have any Muslim friends. All of them Hindu friends have completely gone out of their way. They have taken an extra step, I mean, so that I get justice in any possible way. There are a lot of people telling me right now that you're playing the victim card or yeah, you're blowing the matter out of proportion. This is not the first time. The last 5 years I've been facing this. So this time I have to come in public, but this is not the first time it's happening, and I've come out in public.
No, I don't.
I salute to them.
No, I don't.
Salute to all of them.
Absolutely. Well, Zeeshan wants to say something. Yes, Zeeshan,
well,
please.
The same thing happened with me. When I was denied a job, two of my friends who had applied along with me, they received a call letter asking them to come down the next day to the office and appear for the final round of interview. But when they realized that their classmate has been discriminated on religious grounds, they refused to reject the offer letter and walk out of the company. Most of my friends happen to be non-Muslims. They are all, majority of them are Hindus, and they all stood by me. They said that this is something very shameful, this is something very disgusting, and we as true Indians, we need to stand by you during this hour.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is real India, sir.
Absolutely.
This is real India.
And you see, there is if there is
India, not real India.
If there is, you see, this is a clear case. Mr. Pandit Gautam, what I find tonight is you are in a minority tonight. You are not.
Sir, allow me for example.
I'd like to go across to Ejaz Maqbool, please. He has not spoken. For me, this is a clear case of solid religious discrimination. I do not think the Shiv Sena and the BJP can get away by saying we have sympathies for these two people. I don't think these two young citizens. No, she said it. I don't think Misbah or Zeeshan needs sympathy.
One has to empathize before anybody goes out to help somebody. One has to empathize with their problems. So that's what I'm doing.
So you have lived with the reality for a long time and done nothing about it. Mr. Maqbool, sorry to come to you so late. Mr. Maqbool, please. Mr. Maqbool.
The first point I would like to make is that India would require a fair housing law. Anything what Misbah has faced or Zeeshan has faced, that is unconstitutional, and that has to be the entire thing has to be stopped. I mean, we live in a country which is a secular country, and we require a law where if people like Sanghvis have to be booked under the law. And in many, let me tell you, in many other countries like US or UK, they have made laws for protection of people being discriminated in housing, this thing. And in fact, if person like Misbah faces it, or anybody, and I must tell you that India's real strength is that if I am a Muslim and I am being discriminated, the real people who come at our rescue are the non-Muslims, the Hindus, because it has always been in this thing. And Mr. Gautam's point that I will make mutton in my house and the smell will spread. What does he do when he goes to a 5-star hotel where all vegetarian food and non-vegetarian food are cooked in the same kitchen? Similarly, in every society, our ethos permits that everybody should be permitted to stay together, and the constitution, if anybody violates this, it's a violation of the constitution. And I must tell you one thing, no society will be permitted to be registered if they say in their bylaws that we will not permit any non-Muslim or a Christian to be admitted, to be made a member of that society. Then they cannot apply for the land, and it will be a violation of the act under Society Registration Act if they register.
No, Ashish Shelar,
if it's made on private land, in that case, if we are not take government land, we purchase land on our hand.
Even in a private land, you cannot discriminate anybody under the constitution. Right to life.
Pandit Ajay Gautam.
Article 4.
Sir,
Pandit Ajay Gautam.
What about Article 25?
Pandit Ajay Gautam.
What about Article 25?
Yes, Pandit Ajay Gautam. Pandit Ajay Gautam, I have heard enough of this. I have heard. Pandit Ajay Gautam, please. Pandit Ajay Gautam. One second, Mr. Maqbool, let me explain you see, problem is Pandit Ajay Gautam. Why don't you go to the Indian Ocean, discover some new island, and say this is Pandit Ajay Gautam's island, where the Constitution of India. Yes, and in your land, sir, and in your land.
If somebody has the problem,
will you not listen to me? Will you not listen to me, Pandit Ajay Gautam?
If you want to ship from another island, they will be going.
Pandit Ajay Gautam, I now want to continue. Pandit Ajay Gautam, you are a lawyer who does not
be able to form a society under the Society's Registration Act if you make such a decision.
No, one second. Just a minute.
He's living 800 years.
Just a minute. Ashish Shelar, before you come in. Pandit Ajay Gautam should know the Constitution. What are you talking about, sir? Article 25 allows every citizen to freely profess, practice and propagate religion. Please read Article 25(1). Please, point number 1.
With reasonable restrictions. With reasonable restrictions, kindly cover the
and by the way, Article 15 of the Constitution of India specifically states there will be a prohibition of discrimination on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. And in case you are not aware of it, Article 19E of the Constitution of India, under the fundamental rights of our Constitution of India, guarantees every citizen the right, and Misbah has that right. to reside and settle in any part of the territory of India. Now that particular apartment block where she wanted the house.
He purchased now.
Sir,
He
please.
cannot force कि somebody rented it out.
Sir, she did not force anybody.
She cannot force.
She did not force anybody.
A particular person
She did not
rented it out a house.
I think Misbah is good enough to answer. Did you force anybody, Misbah?
This is a choice of the owner of property. Hey, we will be allowed to her to
Just a
enter in
minute.
the house or not.
Zara sun lijiye 2 minutes, please. Yeah, go ahead, Misbah.
Sir, मैंने किसी को भी force नहीं किया है. I went through. In fact, I was hounding the broker that you get me an agreement because I wanted an agreement. The broker would have not had an issue. He would probably have let me stay in the house if I didn't ask for my name to be included in the agreement. That's what I wanted. मैं financially इतनी sound position पे हूँ कि मैं अकेली रहते हुए 15,000, 20,000 rent दे रही हूँ, deposit दे रही हूँ आपको इतना. तो I want an agreement with my name in it. You can't tell me that I'll not get an agreement. In fact, you humiliate me by saying that I have to sign an NOC which states that if I face any kind of harassment simply because of my religious background from the society, I should be okay with it. I mean, am I giving you permission to stone me to death or molest me? I mean, what? What kind of an NOC are you expecting from me? I'm paying you full rent. In return, I'm going through a police verification process. I'm giving you full deposit. I expect an agreement with my name included in it.
You see, the fact of the matter is that a person, whether Muslim, Hindu, Parsi, Sikh, anyone, cannot be denied their fundamental right.
No, let me ask a simple question.
Yes,
Unfortunately,
no, what's
what
yes, Ashish.
gentleman has just stated.
Which gentleman?
I am afraid.
What's up? Kamal Faruqui. Kamal, 1 second. Yeah, Ejaz Maqbool. This is a response from the Mumbai BJP chief. Go ahead.
I am afraid. Let's understand the constitution in a better way. The logical argument what the gentleman has just given, if you have to extend that, then what will happen to Parsi colonies? Will any non-Parsi will be allowed to go to Parsi colonies?
Okay, now the answer to that is
the answer to that is
the answer to that is
can't cut me.
So I'll give you a counter to it.
Trying to say.
I'll give you a counter to
it. Let me complete. And therefore, constitution allows a group of people to form a society.
Okay.
And therefore, one cannot deny the right to Misbah or Zeshan. At the same way, minorities has the right to protect their interests also. That is a constitution I'm trying to say.
The same judgment also places the onus on the legislative authorities. Go check your facts when you go back to make amendments to ensure that bylaws of cooperative societies do not place restrictions over a person's identity, religious or otherwise.
Of course not.
Now, Misbah is a Muslim.
Of
1
course
second.
not. Wrong.
Now, Misbah is a Muslim. Sir, 1 second, let me speak. Misbah is a Misbah and don't fool yourself.
No,
Misbah was no, sir. 1 second.
Let's not fool the facts.
Sir, let's not twist the facts. Misbah was
fool the facts.
Misbah and Zeeshan.
All of us should not fool the
Ashish Shelar, this narrow-minded, myopic approach where you refuse to accept the reality.
It is of the Misbah should be booked. Singhvi should be booked. Sir, and Arnab should file a criminal case against Singhvi.
Sir, 1 minute.
Why Arnab is not filing the criminal case? I appeal Arnab should file a criminal case.
Ashish
Shelar will be the witness for it.
Ashish Shelar, to this.
Let's decide this.
Ashish Shelar.
Let Arnab file a criminal case and I will be the witness for it.
Mr. Ashish Shelar, you are ruling the country.
Of course, I am with you.
And you said India first.
Yes, I still will, but understand constitution properly.
I understand it better than you to this date. To this date, tell me.
Said will kill the interest of minorities also. That is my submission.
To this
and
date.
Therefore, I am saying let's understand the constitution properly.
Sir,
nobody should be discriminated.
Sir, Mr. Ashish Shelar,
and equal protection.
Mr. Ashish Shelar, the Supreme Court judgment of the Supreme Court judgment of 2005. 1 second, sir. Listen to me. The Supreme Court judgment of 2005 cannot be made a mere excuse for others to show their prejudice.
Right.
1 second, I have 3 points to make. First, the fact is that it is in the legislative domain to amend various cooperative or housing societies acts.
But
to ensure, allow me to complete, to ensure, allow me to complete.
I'm appealing you to file a criminal
ensure
case.
that societies do not.
I'm with you to file a criminal case.
To ensure that housing societies do not pass bylaws that are restrictive. Third, and if you only listen to her, what she was saying. So she's not being given a job for any other reason. She's not being given a house because she's a Muslim. He's not being given a job because he's a Muslim.
It's a wrong.
Wrong does not, you can't keep saying.
Unconstitutional.
Well, it's happening under your nose, sir.
Let them knock the door of law.
Knock the door of law. Why do people elect the government?
Support.
Why did you say India first?
Will Arnab file a case?
Why did you say India first? Did you say India first?
I'm appealing Arnab.
Is this India
Go
first?
to the police station for her right and file a police case. I will witness.
Okay, here's what the BJP representative is saying tonight. The BJP representative is saying tonight, we have all the seats, we are a government, We are Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. 1 second. But it's saying tonight.
I am here to protect
the BJP representative.
I am here to protect Misbah also.
The BJP
and I am here to protect Parsi also and Hindu also.
Then take a morcha out tomorrow on this issue.
No, I am morcha. The law will take its own course.
Oh, really?
I will go to the police station. Arnab will support.
Why don't you pick up the case in an aggressive way instead of showing your empathy and sympathy?
No, empathize. Unless and until I empathize, how do I help her?
How do you?
That's the first step towards helping out somebody.
Why do politicians like you hide behind courts and the police when it comes to real cases?
No, not at all. Who is hiding? And you are painting the entire picture as though something the BJP Shiv Sena has done some crime and
it's not your action.
Let's not politicize Arnab.
Any other streets you would have been on this. You would have been on this.
If you are talking on segregation, there are vegetarian and non-vegetarian restaurants. So tomorrow you will say, okay, this is a vegetarian restaurant, you must serve meat over here. See, some segregations are natural.
Natural?
But we, of course,
it's a choice.
No, one second. It is absolutely wrong.
1 second.
It is absolutely unconstitutional. But you are painting a picture as though BJP Shiv Sena has done something. They have wronged them. It's not like that.
Can you force?
We are just putting out examples of how Parsis, Catholics, there is a Saraswat colony amongst the Hindus also.
Yes, and I'm saying it. You cannot deny a Muslim if he wants to live in a Saraswat colony.
Say that.
Yes.
That
why
the Salsette societies in Mumbai should allow.
I am of a very firm view that there can be no discrimination on the basis of any religion. On the basis of any religion.
Then what will happen to minority institutes?
I am saying.
Are you wanted to generalize
I am talking about.
I am against you.
Mr. Ashish Shelar. Now it's very good that your real colours have come out on the program.
We have to protect even minorities and majorities both.
Fight for the Kashmiri Pandits.
Will they fight for the Kashmiri Pandits? Let me respond. Please speak up, Zeshan.
I will stand with my Kashmiri Pandit brothers.
Let him speak up.
I will.
Yes, I appreciate it.
I am standing with them and I shall always stand with them.
Very good.
No. What's Ashish Shelar and Manisha? It is very unfortunate what you just did.
No,
this is not protecting minorities.
Ashish Shelar.
You are saying you are going to stop the minority institute.
Manisha,
once Manisha who have been thrown out of their house.
What is this?
You never had a discussion on them? I don't remember.
Why did you question Misbah and Zeeshan on the issue of Kashmiri Pandits?
Would they support?
No, why?
Yes,
what has this got to do with this?
I want to know their mind.
Do you doubt? What is your issue?
I want to know their mind.
No, what is your issue?
The way they want to know about us, I want to know about them.
No, why are you talking about us and them? Why is your language revealing?
No, it's not us.
No, ma'am.
Because
Manisha, you just used the
whole point.
You just used the word us and them. I'm very sorry.
I'm talking of the
you spoke about us and them. Who is us and who is them?
We all.
Who is us and who is them? How do you?
It's just a word.
It's a Freudian slip. You've just reflected the way in which you look at people tonight.
It's not like that. You are interpreting it wrongly.
I think tonight this discussion has been very revealing, and I put this question to everybody this evening. This discussion has been very revealing. The BJP and the Shiv Sena began this discussion by saying, we are on the right side, we have sympathy, we have empathy, etc. By the end of it,
our mouth. We have never said, at least I have said it very clearly, discrimination is not allowed. Misbah's and Zeshan's right should be protected. At the same time, majorities' right and even minorities' colonies also needs to be protected. And therefore, I say constitution needs to be understood in a holistic way.
Ashish Shelar, I just wrap by saying one thing.
Majority and minority.
Yes, Tasleem Rehmani.
Equal protection by law and equality means that discrimination is done by constitution. Otherwise, there would have not been word equality.
What about an ethical majority and an ethical minority?
Wrong if somebody is
what about a moral majority and a moral minority?
If somebody is doing it.
Why?
Please file a police case.
Politics, why keep Muslims in a minority? As per the UN rules, if any population is more than 2%, it cannot fall in the minority. This is a very clear. Who said Muslims are in a minority? Yes, more than 70%.
Ajay Gautam and Tasleem Ahmed Rehmani, I'm extending this debate by 5 minutes.
Word was not created by Ashish Shelar.
Sir, I'd like to remind
the support of
I'd like to remind you.
File the complaint.
I'd like to remind you that
in any court.
Ajay Gautam, I think Tasleem Rehmani wants to respond to you. Tasleem Rehmani, yeah. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Rehmani, then I'll make my point. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Rehmani. You make your point first.
I want to make a point very clear that India we should respect the equal citizenship. Their rights and privileges must be equal as prescribed in the Constitution of India, and at the pretext of majority, ethical majority and minority, I personally don't believe in these kind of terminology. This is to divide the society. India must be first, Indianness must be first, and your reservations like the beef and this has no place in this society of 2015. If you want to live in 800-year history, you are free to live in those days. But here now in 2015, I feel Indianness must be first, and every citizen should be equal.
Okay, just one last point I want to make at this stage. America fought segregation way back in the 60s and rejected it.
To make a point. That
yes, Mr. Maqbool, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just wanted to make a small point that seeing the plight of Misbah and Zeeshan, we actually require a fair housing law in the country.
Yes, and the Fair Housing Act. That is the point. No, I request
there are so many acts.
Sir,
one can knock the door and will get the justice.
Sir,
there are laws. Housing regulation is under the process. IPC is already there. Criminal procedure is there.
Ashish Shelar.
Is there.
I don't know why you're going on and on,
Nothing
Ashish.
new has been proposed.
Ashish Shelar.
You are aware about all this.
Ashish Shelar.
Please let's go to the police station.
Ashish Shelar.
You and me both will go to the police station.
Okay, then let us say tonight.
Ashish, why not you
one
go
second.
to the police station?
Yes, then say tonight that this country does not need a government. Then say tonight that this country can be a police state. Then for every single issue, you shall say tonight that the people in this country demand fair housing. And by the way, you'd wipe that smile off your face. The fact is that the Fair Housing Act of 1968, Fair Housing Act in America.
Arnab, there is a law. Please believe in our under constitution. We have given everybody a protection.
Okay, then
today Zeeshan and Misbah are suffering. Are all Indians suffering?
Okay,
and therefore constitution protects them.
Ashish, have you finished?
Yes.
I want to ask you tonight.
Please.
Allow me to complete. Please don't keep saying allow me to complete. In 1968, in the United States of America, there was a fair housing.
There was a name of the president.
There was a fair.
I am giving the name of the president.
There was a Fair Housing Act which was under the Civil Rights Act which was brought in. I want to ask you tonight: will the Bharatiya Janata Party, Narendra Modi government bring about an urgent Fair Housing Act with enforceable mechanisms to ensure that Misbah does not, that people like Misbah don't have to go knocking on police stations to say I was denied a house. Where is the Fair Housing Act in this country?
May I respond?
Please, of course the question is to respond. Give me an equivalent of the Fair Housing Act.
Yes, Fair Housing Act, if it was required, my government will obviously.
What do you mean if it was required?
And Indian Constitution has already given the protection. Otherwise, Zeeshan or Misbah,
Kamal Faruqui, if required, he says.
You need more Misbah.
We oppose this kind of law.
I am
afraid
the minority institutes will come in a problem by the submission of the Arnab and all of you. There are Parsi colonies, there are Catholic colonies, there are Shias colonies, there are Sunnis colonies. What will happen to them? Please think about that also.
Not under the Constitution, sir.
They are not under Constitution. I am sorry. What kind of debate they are doing? What kind of debate they are doing? My submission is very clear. Indian Constitution as on today is a foolproof, giving all right to me and Zeeshan, everybody.
There is no equivalent right now, and if you have an equivalent, then name it right now on the program. I want to know the direct, immediate equivalent of the Fair Housing Act that has been passed in the US in 1968.
Those who are getting discrimination has a protection under Indian Penal Code.
What do you mean Indian Penal Code? Which is the specific act, sir? Which is the specific act, sir? Name it.
Of course, there is.
Which one? Which one? If there is, then tell me.
Her feelings are outrageous.
If there
is a section for outrageous. One cannot go to a particular area get been stopped.
I'm asking for the Fair Housing Act. Give me an equivalent of the Fair Housing Act.
I am asking you, will you come to the police station?
Give me an equivalent of the Fair Housing Act.
Will you come to the police
station? Give me an equivalent of the Fair Housing Act.
I am here to give a justice to her.
Give me an equivalent. Don't give me a political lecture. Give me an equivalent of the Fair Housing Act.
Lecture. Don't put the words
Give me an equivalent of the Fair Housing Act.
I am appealing you.
Why can't we have a Fair Housing Act in this country?
Let's go to the police station.
Misbah wanted to say something. There is no equivalent of the Fair Housing Act. You know that.
There is a constitution.
Then give it to me right now.
Equal opportunity and equal protection. That is a principle of constitution.
Where is the equivalent of the Fair Housing Act? This is like saying.
You want to say our constitution is not foolproof?
Sir, why you generalize? This is like saying America is a constitution.
So I am generalizing.
You're saying America is a constitution.
I believe in constitution. Equal protection and equal opportunity has been given.
Then if the constitution has been violated, why don't you pick up the issue?
I don't agree with your submission that constitution is not fulfilled.
In Misbah's case, the constitution has been violated.
I don't buy that.
Sir,
Misbah's case, the constitution has been violated.
The door of law, that is I'm appealing.
Sir,
that's why I'm saying your solid power as editor should be used for that.
Sir, Article 19 has been violated, Article 15 has been violated, Article 25 has been violated.
She has gone back to the Minority Commission, she'll get the justice. Zeeshan has only said the crime.
What about all the people out there who are facing discrimination on a daily basis?
It is wrong.
Sir, there are thousands of such cases which come up every day.
Protected, and Arnab, let me be very frank.
I think Ashish Shelar,
Misbah is speaking because constitution given them the right.
Speak back.
It is good. Good for the society.
Just a minute, please.
At office, we are told that, I am told that you have to come in on time. At 9 o'clock, you have to report to office. At 6 o'clock, you finish work, or you have to do XYZ at work by my boss. And I follow what she says. I can tomorrow say that you don't do it. So I won't do it. But my boss leads by example. I mean, she's always done in action what she's asked me to do. True. So today when I hear that Muslim societies में, Parsi societies में Hindus को नहीं मिलता, Muslims को नहीं मिलता, Muslims में Christians को नहीं मिलता, अगर आप start नहीं करोगे, एक movement, एक lead करोगे नहीं action से, तो आप किसी को कैसे बोलोगे? And today when I try to, I'm the most modern, independent female you can come across in every possible way. I live independently on my own money, everything. But every time I want to think that I love Mumbai, I love my country, I'll not settle abroad, I'll not leave this country, I will not complain about this country, but I keep being reminded that you are an outcast and don't you dare forget that.
It's wrong. Well, I think Misbah, I'll wrap it up by saying this.
We are with you for this.
If you see the support, don't depend on the politicians.
That doesn't mean that constitution needs to be believed by everyone.
I believe, all right, so I think in this particular case, there's a lot of support that's built up for Misbah and Zeeshan. And I think they represent the young Indian who's not willing to stand down and take this kind of nonsense on a daily basis. It's for this government to tell us today whether they still believe in the question of India first. And if they do, they must pick up this case and not be prompted to it. I thank you very much for participating on our second debate on the apartheid truth tonight. Thank you.